So Donald Trump appears to be losing his base as MAGA is turning on him. And let me show you what I'm talking about, as there's a lot to go over as everything appears to be melting down today. Laura Loomer is saying, I'm not voting in 2026. That'd be midterms. She says, I'm not voting. I didn't vote for Sharia law. I did not vote for jihadi ambassadors. I did not vote for the U.S. to be turned into a Muslim country. And it's like, what are we even talking about today? I mean, I never know what's going on with these Trumpers. Well, okay. Could it be this? Are we upset that the market is crashing today? And that's one of the things that was going on. Trump started another trade war with China, I guess. This is from CNBC. Trump threatens massive tariff hike on China over rare earths dispute. And again, remember, MAGA's like, hey, I'm not voting in 2026. Okay. Are we mad about this? This is what MAGA should be upset about. Trump administration live updates. Federal layoffs have begun. And this is, this is just going on. This is like just a few minutes ago. Now, remember, they were threatening the layoffs. Trump just lost the Nobel Peace Prize. He really, really wanted to win this thing. So I guess now the threats of layoffs now is actually happening. And I don't want to make anything light of this. I mean, no one wants that, basically notice from your boss saying like, you're out. I mean, you don't want that. MIT is standing up against Trump, and you're like, is MAGA maybe upset about this? I don't think they care about education, but this is happening though. Basically, Trump's trying to put get everyone to fall along with him. MIT's like, no, we're not doing it. Benny Johnson, one of MAGA people, he's like openly tweeting out Putin stuff and saying how I guess Putin wanted Trump to win the Nobel. I don't know. But this is what they're actually concerned about. And this is like the most bizarre news I've ever heard. So Laura Loomer says, I never thought I'd see Republicans give terror financing Muslims from Qatar a military base on U.S. soil. I don't think I'll be voting in 2026. And I'm like, what? So this is CNBC. U.S. will host Qatari Air Force facility in Idaho. So I think we're making Qatar great again is the plan in Idaho. Hegseth announced Qatar will build Air Force facility at U.S. base in Idaho. Here's the announcement.
No one other than President Trump could have achieved the peace that we believe will be a lasting peace in Gaza. And Qatar played a substantial role from the beginning, working with our folks to ensure that came about. So I want to thank you for that historic peace. We look forward to joining the president as that gets it's already been delivered, but as that's formally signed as well. And I'm also proud that today we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. The location will be host a contingent of Qatari F-15s and pilots to enhance our combined training, increase lethality, interoperability. It's just another example of our partnership. And I hope you know, Your Excellency, that you can count on us.
I'm not actually sure what's going on. I guess a gift to Trump is so you can build bases in USA to make America great again, or Qatari great. Is that what we're doing? And Laura Loomer again is like, I just know I'm not voting in 2026. I guess we're going to find out. Will the 9/11 be with F-15s? We live in a Muslim country. That's according to her. Okay. And then she also says, she's having a meltdown, I'm telling you. America could have been so great. We worked so hard. Now we live in a Muslim country. This must be what hell feels like, according to her. And then she's like, get ready for all the Qatari influencers or whatever. It's hard to follow this stuff every day, guys. I mean, seriously. And the thing I always tell you is that all the Trump stuff is unsustainable. I mean, it's just you can't expect to fire everyone, right? Who's left, like regardless of who you voted for or whatever. If you wake up one day and Trump says you're fired, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna like it, right? Regardless of who you voted for. No one wants to just wake up one day and be fired. Or prices are through the moon, or we're giving money to Argentina, and now I guess we're building a Qatari air base in Idaho, and then say the fighting with China. I mean, when you realize that, say, your Temu and your Shein, right, your cheap goods from China are double, triple, whatever Trump decides in cost. I mean, obviously, well, it should be obvious that you're going to be paying the tariffs. And then, Trump, if you want to read this whole tweet, this is the whole thing about with China. It's just a wall of text. He was complaining that China's sending out letters. For real. Can you get this? Donald Trump's complaining that China was sending out letters. It was like, I don't even know. He says they are becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries throughout the world. I know, is China trolling Trump here? Is like, if you can send letters, I can send letters too. And then he was complaining that I guess he's not going to meet Xi here in Korea. No reason to meet her or whatever. And actually, that was in a couple of weeks. I'm here in Korea. There was, we weren't sure like if was Trump coming or not. I think she's coming no matter what. It would be my guess. I don't think, most leaders do this kind of thing where they tweet about coming, not coming, and whether or not we're getting phone calls. They just make a decision to say we're going to come and it's announced, right? It's not like on a whim kind of thing, but that's how Trump rolls, I guess. And then regarding the layoffs, and this is just happening as we speak, multiple departments in the government are affected. So education, energy, homeland security, health and human services, treasury, and no one knows for sure how large this is. And like I said, like for me, this isn't a partisan issue, regardless of who you voted for. If you wake up and you find out that the Trump people are firing you, I just don't think you're going to like them. And so how anything that Trump does is sustainable is beyond me, which clearly it's not. Is now you've actually pissed off Laura Loomer. She says, I'm not voting. I guess we're even layoffs at the cybersecurity, which, I mean, so much stuff that Trump does, it doesn't make sense on a daily basis. Like I always wonders, like, are you purposely trying to destroy America? And then we have military families waiting at the food lines. Look at this.
As I take a step aside here, there is quite a bit of military members and their families in line because of this government shutdown. We're in day 9 of it, and they're here for a food pantry. There's all sorts of food that is available, and I spoke with some military member spouses, and I spoke with some department heads here at the ASYMCA on why this is so important. What's the difference in the amount of people that you've seen from today to previously?
So when we first started coming, there definitely wasn't this amount of people. It was a lot, but it wasn't this amount to where it wrapped around the building. But lately it has been a lot. Like we were here last week and we were in line for like 2 hours.
In a normal week, we usually run out of food about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Last week we ran out of food about 10:30.
So they're running out of food because there's too many military families that need food because, Trump's like not paying people, laying people off. There's so many people affected, and we also have this where like our planes and our airports are having problems. Look at this.
On day 7, the effects of the government shutdown are being felt by many air travelers as delays and staffing shortages reach air traffic control nationwide.
This is having great impact, great concern, great stress.
The FAA says it's been delaying flights due to air traffic controller shortages. The transportation secretary blames the government shutdown. He says many controllers are calling out sick since they're no longer getting paid.
I want to see your flight not be delayed. I don't want you canceled, but our priorities are safety.
An FAA operations plan says that at least a dozen air traffic control facilities braced for shortages last night.
And I completely understand you're not getting paid calling sick. I completely understand. It's not unreasonable for someone like, if you're not going to pay me, I'm not coming to work. That's not unreasonable. And Trump is basically, now we're firing everyone, but what's our plan after that? And if you follow them, their plan is work with Elon Musk and replace everyone with robots and AI. And that stuff's not ready, not going to work. I promise you. And so the Trump basically strategy is to just piss off everyone. It's supposedly, it's what it feels like. And remember, all he wants to do is put money in his pocket. And if you ask me what's Trump's ultimate goal here, maybe he's running to Argentina. That's what it looks like. I mean, I know as bizarre as it all sounds, but when you're banging Argentina, and that was a place where we'll just say many mustache party people went after the war ended in Germany, right? If you guys know anything about Argentina, there's a high possibility of that. I mean, you never know with this dude. And then you're even losing Marjorie Taylor Greene as she talks about inflation and her family. Listen to this.
Are you concerned about the cost of living? Are you
Very.
That the President Trump said he would lower?
The inflation crushed people in the past 4.5 years, and the costs have not come down. I myself can tell you my apartment here in Washington, D.C., the electricity bill is $100 more. than it was last year, because you can look at your own bill and look at costs. Prices have not come down. That is a reality. People's wages have not gone up. That's another reality. And so Americans are continuing to have a very difficult time getting by. And I'll go a step further. I'm a mom. And so when it comes to what is affecting my adult children's lives, who are 22, 26, and 28, I'm going to be 1,000% fighting for them over any politician and any party. And I can tell you right now, that generation, they are barely making it, and they're very hopeless for their future.
So you're a mom first, a politician second.
That's right. I'm a mom first.
That's good to hear.
So I'll be frank. I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? She says a bunch of wacky stuff. But occasionally she talks like an actual human being. I mean, and, you know, as it boils down to it, I think what's going on is many of these MAGAs have constituents, right, voters, who are probably sending letters, making phone calls, be like, hey, why am I not getting paid? Hey, why is Trump tweeting out crazy nonsense again? I mean, you start messing with people's money directly, etc. I mean, this is what happens. It's just not sustainable. Before, and because many people always mention this in the comments, before MAGA thought, oh, I only thought the other people were going to get hurt. I only thought the black and brown people were going to get hurt. And I was okay with that. But now that you're hurting me, Trump, now I'm upset. And this does definitely expose them as being greedy individuals. I'll be frank on that. But hey, whatever it takes for them to finally wake up and realize that we're all connected. Because if you say cut the salaries off of other people, right, they're not going to shop at your store. Like we're all connected, guys. You know, it's sad that some people are so self-centered and greedy that they can't see it. And something that, you know, if you're curious, just my point of view on this stuff, you want to build a society where everyone has a chance to live their life, right? In a way that's positive, in a way that's, you know, great for everyone in the neighborhood, essentially. You don't want a situation where, say, in your neighborhood, you got one person who's got the mansion and everyone else is living in a shack. I mean, that's essentially what the Trump people and his buddies want. And I think a lot of people are just waking up to it. Like, you know, a good example, say Laura Loomer, where it finds out, you know, hey, the Qatar, I guess, is getting rich or whatever they're doing, building a air base and air facility, I guess the right word, in Idaho. And you know, if you just break it down in the most simplest terms, you got a rich kid on the block, you know, got lots of jets or whatever, and you're like sitting in a cardboard box, and you're like, huh, that system doesn't seem fair or right. But that's the stuff that, yes, these MAGA people did vote for, and yes, maybe they didn't understand what they were doing, or maybe they did, who knows? But the end result is it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable if, you know, 1 out of a billion people is okay, and the other, you know, bunch of us are all in cardboard boxes. It's just not sustainable. And so that's what's going on today. Trump has been threatening to fire people. They're actually doing it. The market's crashing. We're fighting with China or whatever. And even MAGA and Laura Loomer are jumping off the boat. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. Please stay safe out there. And I'll catch you all in the next video.